Hello and welcome back. My name is Otter, and today we start episode 3 of our Oddlando series, a City Skylines 2 build primarily focused on a beach town in central Florida, thanks to our newest beach properties pack. In the last 2 episodes, we've focused on laying the initial grids for our city, ensuring a blend of efficiency and density, and also connected our essential utilities. We also introduced a vibrant outdoor shopping plaza, which will help give our community's economy a foundation as it continues to grow and flourish. In this episode, I'll be addressing a couple of small mistakes made in the previous episodes. The first is mostly for aesthetic purposes. You notice the issue? Due to incorrect spacing, the two northernmost communities don't maintain the slip-through feeling of grass and trees, which makes them feel slightly congested. While not a major problem, cohesion is going to be a large focus of this section of the build due to the limited space we're working with, so I'm going to go ahead and give them an overhaul. Our second project may prove not to be so small after all. With the unlocking of large roads, highways, and roundabouts, I think it's time to enhance our city's accessibility by connecting it to the existing external infrastructure of highway. This expansion not only will improve traffic flow, but will open up opportunities for growth and development in the future. So, of course, the first area that I mentioned is going to be this neighborhood right here. As you can see with the previous neighborhoods, the gap in between them was about 140 yards, but in between this one, it's about 120. So, of course, there's a little bit less leeway in between the actual neighborhoods, and it kind of just makes the entire thing feel a little bit clogged right in this section. That's not the feel that I'm going for. I'd like to have a little bit of separation between each separate neighborhood. And so I'm going to go ahead and clear all of this as well as this neighborhood and just shift them over each by about 20. And then, of course, the shopping plaza is going to get its own district as well. So with that, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Do some low density waterfront housing. And these ones are going to have a little bit of a spacing on the actual grid. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because of this corner being wonky, but it did throw the grid off ever so slightly. And I'm not really all that mad about it. I think it'll create a little bit of something different. Also, I think for this neighborhood, I'm gonna keep this little separation here. Hopefully they build deep, not this side. Then with this neighborhood, of course, we're going to go back into the signature buildings. I feel like Real Estate Mansion might want a view of the beach. We are going to give them that. There's some, go ahead and give them some private lawn here. We'll go ahead and say that this is all this guy's property. Then we'll go ahead and do some hedges. Before I forget. The water towers are always so loud. It is terrifying. Let's go ahead and do a sidewalk right behind this house. That breaks up the grid just a little bit and makes sure that this is only this guy's property. I wish I could get rid of one of these bushes. I'd probably add like a wrought iron gate right here and then have a walking path from there to the back door. That way they have access to this actual footpath. But alas, I don't choose. It is what it is. And I'm thinking also maybe what I want to do, I feel like this is like way too much parking. Just rebalance this a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and zone just some low density res right here. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side as well. I think it was just a little too much, and that'll definitely balance it out quite a bit more. Another thing I'm thinking of before these houses actually get built is whether or not I can fit a decent sized park in here. And as it turns out, right in the middle of the neighborhood, yes. Yes, I can. I think that's definitely an improvement to the center of that neighborhood. A little bit of variety while also complementing the need for parking potentially, and give me an idea to work in some of these other neighborhoods. I'm thinking parks actually might be a little more of a more in-depth build later on. So for now, rearranging of these two little neighborhoods, fine for now. The next part I want to get into, of course, is the highway connection. Looking at this highway connection, you can tell it's not exactly built for large traffic or any sort of buildup, really. It works for smaller traffic flow and it seems to get people out relatively quickly, but there's a few points of contention where potential collisions could happen, and in real life, this would not be considered for any sort of highway expansion project, as you just saw that bus almost just collided with the car going by. So let's go ahead and wrap this into the new project that we're building. I'm going to go ahead and start by disconnecting access to both of these roads here. I'm going to try and keep it roughly at an even spot. That's easier to reconnect later. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start by upgrading all of this to a 4. So we're gonna do a 2 plus 2 all the way down the highway. I'm also gonna extend this further than I actually need it, just in case. We'll see what happens. But I want to kind of do something similar to a frontage road. So I want to have, I'm actually gonna have a 2-lane road come, or a 2 plus 2 lane come down here. And we'll just call it somewhere even here. And so we're gonna go ahead and follow the basic rule, and I'm gonna try and get it, yeah, I'm gonna get it less than, or I guess right on 4 degrees is gonna be perfect. Let's go ahead and line it up to this road. That also kind of increases the visibility there a little bit, I think, which is basically really important. And so then let's go ahead and connect the piping, and that can just go underneath there. That's fine. Cool. So that'll be that for this part. Go ahead and put it into fast forward. And actually, before I do that, let's also go ahead and remove a couple of options here. I don't want them going straight through here. Everything else is fine. With a new highway junction involved here, I'm super excited to see how this thing handles some high density traffic. I think I may later end up putting at the top and the bottom of this elevated section here, I may end up putting a advanced traffic light, but for now, I'm really excited to see how it handles an influx of traffic. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more weekly videos, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. Also, if you're interested in seeing pictures of every build, work in progress updates, and early access to the weekly videos, consider checking out the Patreon. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful week.